We have some new exciting developments with the Google Play Store. You can now download 2 apps at the same time. I'm just kind of surprised it wasn't going there before, but yeah, you can download 2 apps at the same time, so it won't wait to download one and then do the next one. It'll download them both at the same time. This is high time they've kind of done this. I'm surprised they haven't done it, like I said. So save yourself a little time, potentially, hopefully. Obviously, it's gonna pull at the same time, so it's gonna, if you don't have too much internet speed, it's gonna kind of slow it down, but it's still kind of cool that we now have this. Next up, we've spoken about what the Galaxy S25 Ultra could look like, but what about this time? What if it looks like this? Would you be more attracted to it? Would you be more wanting of it? And I have to admit, I'm not any more wanting this design than I had talked about the previous design that we saw before. It looks eerily similar, maybe just a tiny little bit less bezel, but ultimately it looks almost exactly the same. The camera design looks a little bit different. It doesn't have the silver going around it, which honestly, when I look at it, when I look at my S24 Ultra, I think with the silver, it looks a little bit more premium than just having the same color as whatever the phone is on the back there. But it has the same camera setup, basically the same. And that's one of the things that I've spoken about before. Here's the S24 Ultra. When the S25 Ultra comes out, I really want some changes with it. I want the screen on the back, like I've mentioned 100 times already. I want faster charging, which you're not gonna see that in the design, so we'll just keep it to the design. But yeah, I think one of the major things is there's 2 things. I'd want the screen on the back, this is what would make me happy, and I want a bigger display. I know they're probably not gonna go to like 7.4 inches or anything like that, but you know, get to 6.9. We used to have 6.9 inch displays. Let's bring that back. And you know, the thinness, would I mind if they made it thicker to get a bigger battery in there? I wouldn't mind. I'm used to the weight of these phones, you know, coming from a folding phone. So if this phone got heavier, honestly, it wouldn't really bug me all that much. So 3 things: screen on the back, bigger display on the front, and if it helps, put a bigger battery in there, make it a little bit thicker. I'm fine with that, or make it thinner, or keep it the thickness it's at and put a bigger battery. That would be the things that I would want the most, and I would be like, oh, that is awesome, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna show you a tip or trick today. I guess it's not a tip or a trick, it's a tip and trick for your Samsung Galaxy phone and how to take cleaner, better screenshots so they don't have to edit them as much. So this is a really simple trick. It's gonna take us 2 seconds, so let's get into it. So first of all, to take a screenshot, there's multiple ways to do it. The way I always continually do it, power and volume down. So you're gonna hit the power and volume down to take a screenshot. There we go, I got my screenshot. So what you wanna do here, this is what we're going to do. We are going to swipe down from the top. We're gonna hit the gear on the top right to go into settings. We're gonna go down until we get to advanced features. And then we're gonna go to where it says screenshots and screen recordings. And there's a toggle here, hide status and navigation bars. Turn that on. Now, when we turn that on and we take a screenshot, let's just go into this Droid Life website. I'm gonna take a picture, a screenshot. You got one right there. Feature on, so you can see what it looks like when I take the screenshot. Press it, there we go. So I took a screenshot 2 times. Now we're gonna look at it on here. Here's a screenshot with the status bar and all that stuff turned on. You can see the full screenshot. You can see my status bar at the bottom, but with it off, you can see it cleans up. It only takes a screenshot of what's really important on the screen. You can see the difference here. It looks a lot cleaner. And obviously it's going to, when you turn on the hide status and navigation bars, it's gonna hide your status bar, your navigation bar. It just makes it cleaner. You don't have to edit it as much. Of course, you could change it after the fact with edit, but why do that? You don't need to see it. So have that status turned on to take better, cleaner screenshots. Have you ever heard of a burning S Pen or the smell of a burning S Pen? Even an S Pen that looks like it's starting to maybe get too warm and start to peel. Well, this guy thinks his S Pen is starting to burn inside of his Galaxy S phone. And if you read his post, basically saying he can smell a burning smell and there's peeling going on, as you can see from the photo. Some of the comments mentioned that it's probably a glue adhesive that he had used on a screen protector of some sort, and it's now seeped into where the S Pen is and has been, and it's most likely the culprit, because after a couple of comments, he responded saying that yes, he does have a screen protector, and that, again, that's probably why the peeling is going on. But ultimately, it's probably not burning. I have never heard anybody say it was burning before, but I wanted to bring this to attention that if you do have some kind of peeling or a burning smell, it's most likely glue from a screen protector that you've installed that is seeped into that S Pen port and got onto your S Pen. So nothing really to worry about, probably. Hopefully. Next up is about the Galaxy Ring. Now, the Galaxy Ring should be out in July, August of this year, and it should bring a lot of health features to it so you can track your health. But one feature that it's potentially going to have, because remember, this ring is due to have up to 3 weeks of battery, but it's gonna have an optional feature that you have on there for NFC, at least reportedly from this tweet. And when you do add NFC, it's going to reduce the battery life by about a week. So instead of 3 weeks, you'd have 2 weeks of battery life, which is still really, really long and plenty for me. I'd be fine with that. But when you have NFC in there, some cool things that you could potentially do with it are make mobile payments. NFC runs through that mobile payment system. The only question I would have is it always going to be active, or is it, I guess it's going to be like the watch. As long as you have your watch on, you don't have to put like a code in. It just will stay there the first time you put the code in. So I'm assuming the ring will work a similar way. You put the ring on, and then instead of activating it saying it's you wearing it, you would have to have some kind of probably fingerprint sensor or code that you put on your phone in order to activate it to let it know that, hey, it's on me, it's only me using it, and it's gonna be okay for me to use it with my mobile payment system. I can't think of many other reasons why they'd want NFC on here. Maybe some kind of gym membership thing if you put your ring down and it ring, but otherwise, yeah, I would think mobile payments, which is actually pretty cool, because if you think about having weeks and weeks of battery life and you just wear the ring to get the health benefits and information of it, and then being able to just place that down on a mobile payment system, I actually like that a lot. I do it with my watch more oftentimes than not lately, and this would, I don't really wear rings, but if it was comfortable and didn't bug me and has weeks and weeks of battery life, this might be a total game changer. I'm gonna start this off with a little bit of annoyance. We've talked about the Galaxy Z Fold 6 not getting 45-watt charging. It's gone through some certifications throughout the world, and it's shown that it's going to have 25-watt charging, which will be the same as the Galaxy Z Flip 6 as well. Now, 25-watt has been the norm on these Galaxy Z Fold phones from the beginning, if I'm not mistaken, at least from the Z Fold 2, I know that. But it's been years and years since they've updated. You can get Galaxy fast charging at 45 watts on a bunch of phones, and there's some new phones that launched in 2024, again, that are not premium phones that are getting 45-watt charging. Sam Mobile put together this list showing off the phones that launched in 2024 that have 45-watt charging, those being the S24 Plus, 24 Ultra, M55, C55, and F55. This is a basically $2,000 phone, even if it drops to $1,500, which we'll see if that happens, probably won't, but if it does, $1,500 to $2,000 and still not having 45-watt charging. And then the devil's advocate on there is showing that, not a huge difference between 25 and 45-watt charging, but it is 20 watts more, and at certain points of 0 to 50%, it does have a few different minutes of change, and sometimes every minute counts, especially when you're in a rush to charge your phone. And it would be nice to have this thrown into your ultra premium phone, and you just gotta throw it at that and just laugh at Samsung continually not adding premium features to these phones that their budget and mid-tier phones get, and these premium ultra expensive phones that they sell, such as the Fold line, do not. And then you can come back to me and be like, well, why do you keep buying it? I keep buying it because I love the phone. There's things that it's not a bad phone, and it's the quality of it has been improved progressively throughout the years. but it pisses me off still, and I gotta share it. I gotta get this off my chest. I can't let that thing linger. You're supposed to talk about your feelings and get them out. So, throw a little, it doesn't hurt to tweet at these companies or email these companies, or even, I don't know if you want to waste your time calling, but send that information, complain about this stuff. Let's try to get it out there. My platform is through my videos. As much as I love Samsung phones, they're not perfect and they can be improved in certain ways. And this would be one of the ways that would make it seem a little bit more premium, especially paying such a premium price. Next up is, why does Samsung take natural looking photos on their S24 phones? You might be curious as to why. Well, a moderator had put a post detailing why Samsung does take natural looking photos, and he responded by saying that regarding the color after your photo shoot, our Galaxy camera prioritizes natural and realistic color expression aligning with current trends, aka iPhone. We thoroughly reviewed the references of various consumers and implemented the most favored color settings. However, perfectly satisfying every individual's preferences is a challenge, which I agree. It's hard to make everyone happy. We appreciate your understanding and strive for continuous improvement. We are committed to providing you with high quality images. Additionally, you can adjust the color by selecting the effect in the camera's upper right corner and adjusting the desired filter's intensity. We recommend exploring those options for creative control, which they're right. I mean, a lot of the time though, most people don't go into filters in terms of before they take a photo and messing with the colors and all that. They just want a point and shoot experience, and you get that. And I read this article, and I'm not one of the people that's probably on my soapbox saying, hey, this phone doesn't take the colored photos that I want it to take with the colors that I want them to look like. It doesn't. I'm not. But I know there's people out there, and I see it on Twitter a lot, just not even content creators so much. There are some content creators that complain about it, but fans of these phones or people that have these phones where they're just complaining about the colors and the look of the phone's cameras. But I just wanted to throw out there, if you're curious as to why the photos might have been becoming more natural versus less saturated and all that. So there you guys go. There's a high possibility you're thinking of upgrading to either the Galaxy Z Fold 6 or the S24 Ultra. Now, the Z Fold 6 should be out in July or no later than August, which is only a couple of months away. And the S24 Ultra is already out and won't have a new successor until January or February of next year. So we're gonna go through a list of things on why you should upgrade to which phone right now. Let's first talk about the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Now, you're getting a much bigger display. Why is that important? Well, it's just better for basically everything in my book. I love it for literally everything. They've really optimized the apps, not just them, obviously the companies that make these apps, they take full advantage of this. For instance, you got your Instagram app, and it fully takes advantage. You have your bar over here, you have nice big full photos, you can turn it if you want to. It just takes full advantage. A lot of the apps have been optimized. You don't really have to worry a lot about apps not looking correctly on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Also gaming. If you love gaming, it's a crazy experience to play Fortnite or Call of Duty or little word games that you like on a much bigger display. It's more immersive and more impressive and more fun. What about multitasking? You can run multiple windows on this phone and still see everything. It's truly impressive. And again, it goes back to the fun factor. This is a really, really fun form-facting phone. If you haven't tried a folding phone, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Now, the cover display on the Galaxy Z Fold 6 is due to be a little bit wider, which is gonna be much welcomed into the world of people that already have these phones. I know I'm very much looking forward to a wider outside display, but even still, it's going to not be as wide most likely as a regular traditional phone, so it's gonna be easier to use. So, and the other part of it, like, how many people do you know have a phone that has two displays? You have the cover display on the Galaxy Z Fold 6, and then you have the inside main display. So having two displays is just a really cool experience. If you have issues on the big display, you can pop out and get the regular experience on the smaller, skinnier outside display. Or if you just want a more one-handed usage of a phone. It's easier to use this cover display versus a regular traditional phone. So there's a lot of cool factors they can use. I admittedly don't love the cover displays on almost any folding phone. I mean, at least I don't hate them, but I don't use them all the time. I love the inside display, but it's cool to have that experience and have that option at the very least. This is awesome. The best way to use the main cameras is on a Galaxy Z Fold phone. Why? Because it allows you to see what you're looking at. I can see myself and use these cameras at the same time. The S24 Ultra doesn't have a display on the back, so of course you could use the back cameras, but this is much easier. You can see yourself, you can press the buttons, you can go to video if you want, photos, whatever you want. I love that experience. A really cool trick to be able to do on this phone. Lastly, for the Galaxy Z Fold 6, it's eye-catching and it's just a different experience. If you've never used it, it's just I've said fun like 1,000 times already, but it's really hard not to say that. It's a really fun, intriguing, different experience versus a regular phone. And this is gonna get a lot more wows and what is that versus you bringing an S24 Ultra into somewhere and being like, everyone has a slab phone. A lot of people don't have a folding phone. So besides, getting the whoos and the ha's, it's just a really cool device to use in general. Let's talk about the Galaxy S24 Ultra next. You've got the brighter display. It's gonna be brighter. There's no way, I don't think that the Z Fold 6 will catch up. We don't know officially sure at the time of making this video, but I would put some money down that it won't be as bright as the S24 Ultra, which to some folks, if they're using the phone outdoors all the time, you're gonna wanna get this one. But at the same time, you'll still be able to see the Z Fold 6 outdoors, and it will be brighter than the Z Fold 5, but you gotta, this is just crazy. It's super high nits of brightness. Better cameras, the best cameras that Samsung puts out are on their Ultra phones, and the S24 Ultra will continually take better zoom photos, up to 100x versus 50x or 30x on the Z Fold 6. And then the quality of the photos too, higher megapixels, just better overall cameras and videos in general with the S24 Ultra. So if you want the best camera experience, you're gonna wanna go with the S24 Ultra. Faster charging, 45 watt wired charging on this, 25 watt on the Z Fold 6. And it's not a huge difference, but when you get to 0 to 50%, you'll save a few minutes with the S24 Ultra. And it should already, that 45 watts should be in the Z Fold 6. It's not going to be, which isn't the end of the world, but yeah, it's cool that at least the S24 Ultra has it. In keeping with that battery charging thing going on, it has a bigger battery and it's gonna have better battery life with the S24 Ultra, 5,000 milliamps versus 4,400 milliamps on the Z Fold 6. And these S24 Ultras get really, really good battery life. With a Z Fold 6, you've got two displays to power. One of the displays is huge, and that's gonna use a lot more power, and it probably will never reach up to the battery life that you'll get with an S24 Ultra. And then lastly, the built-in S Pen. Now, Z Fold 6 does have S Pen support. You gotta buy it separately, and it doesn't go directly inside the phone. S24 Ultra does. You could also say the Z Fold 6 has a bigger display, so it's more fun to write with or easier to write with when you're doing things, so you could give a point in that regard. But overall experience in terms of having the S Pen be built in and ease of use, I'd probably go with the S24 Ultra. So out of these two phones, which one should you choose? I think it comes down to, if you're looking for a different, fun experience, choose the Z Fold 6. You're gonna get a really, really great phone. Now, just spec to spec to spec to spec, S24 Ultra is a better phone and will be a better phone in almost every case of the word that you want to say. But both phones are really nice. For me, I would always choose the folding phone. I'm a fold guy. Once you fold, you never unfold, is my saying. And for the S24 Ultra, again, a really great phone, solid phone, but to me a little bit boring. These phones have been like this for years and years and years and years, and they just get little refinements. At least if you've never tried a folding phone, grab the Z Fold 6. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. Now, the Galaxy Z Fold 6, OnePlus Open 2, and Pixel 9 Pro Fold aren't out. None of them are out, and they won't be for months. But I wanted to go through some of the rumors that we know in terms of why you should think about buying those specific devices based off past performance, things that we currently know, and what to expect from these devices. Let's start off with the Galaxy Z Fold 6, and Samsung is known for customization, and out of these three phones, they offer the most customizations with just built-in advanced features. They have tons of advanced features built into the phone. They have good lock, and they have so much more. They have a theme store, a wallpaper store built into the phone. So if you need and want customization, you're gonna wanna go with that Galaxy Z Fold 6. Next would be a pretty good amount of updates. You're gonna get updates that every month, they either are bug fixes or security fixes, or more times than not, every couple months, they're giving you features. They're improving the cameras. They're making the phone feel more stable. They're adding features such as AI like they've done recently. There's gonna be things that they add in this to just improve the quality of life with the device and also the value for you in order to use it more and more, because they're gonna add and fix software features in there. It's a great thing to have. Galaxy Z Fold 6 will have a solid camera experience. Even if it doesn't have Galaxy S24 Ultra cameras, it will still have very solid cameras. They might not be the best out of all the foldables, but it's gonna offer you an experience that is adequate and above adequate. And when I say adequate, I'm not saying, that sounds like a bad word to use, but I've taken some really nice photos with the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Galaxy Z Fold 6, rumored to have very similar, if not the same cameras, but you'll still be able to capture some nice videos and photos with that phone. It's got a lot of AI features currently, and those obviously will carry over to the Galaxy Z Fold 6. It's also rumored to be getting some AI features with video so that you can remove people from video and also improve the overall video quality of the videos that you take. So Samsung really has a lot of software features, but then when you add in the AI stuff, it just adds another dimension. Most likely the Galaxy Z Fold 6 will be the only foldable phone out in the Western world that has an under display camera. So on that main display, you will not see that main camera, which it doesn't take good photos at the end of the day or videos. They're below adequate. It does work, it's good, it's fine for video calls and things like that, but you're not gonna wanna be like, hey, let's take a selfie and use that camera. You could, but you're not gonna wanna act like that's the best photos you've taken with the phone. But it's still pretty cool that you're able to not have to see that camera on the main display and watch videos and not feel like you're being interrupted by looking at a camera. Galaxy Z Fold 6 will have a lot of power. It will have the latest Snapdragon processor out at that time, which is gonna offer amazing AAA gaming quality and also just power in general. So if you're a video editor, photo editor, you want to do social media, day-to-day stuff, it's going to be a really powerful phone. It's rumored to be very light in weight at 239 grams. Potentially, it would be one of the lightest foldable phones that you can get, which it wasn't even that bad in its current state on the Fold 5, but it should be thinner and lighter. 7 years of OS updates on the Z Fold 6 should be coming. They've done it on the S24 line. It should carry over to the Z Fold 6 line, which if you think 7 years from now, it's 2024 at the time of making this video, you're looking at 2031 as its last update, which is insane. And then lastly, Z Fold 6 for me, in a lot of ways, has the best displays that you can get on a phone in terms of the folding phone market. So if you want some of the best, if not the best quality displays, brightness, and just quality in general, grab a Z Fold 6. What about the Pixel 9 Pro Fold? Well, you're going to get the latest versions of Android, most definitely. Pixel phones always get the latest updates, have them be beta, or the actual release dates of these basically day one. So if you always want the latest versions of Android, you're gonna wanna pick up a Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Also, you're gonna get 7 years of OS updates. Talking about that, we talked about it with the Z Fold 6. It's gonna also come to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, so you can have this phone for years, almost a decade, 3 years short of a decade for that phone. It has that Google clean experience. If you love having just a basic, clean, fun Android experience, you're gonna wanna get the Pixel Fold. It's the way Android and Google intended, and you're going to get that experience. But at the same time, a bit of a negative potentially, you're not gonna get a ton of features and customizations that you do on the OnePlus Open 2 or the Z Fold 6, but it's a very clean, fast experience in day-to-day operation. Pixel Fold was very fast, and the Pixel Fold 2 will take that to another level with the Tensor G4. But then also at the same time, it's not really most likely going to be a AAA gaming beast. It will be able to play AAA games, but you're going to be probably relegated to the medium to medium high settings on AAA games. I'm talking really powerful games that need a lot of power. Pixel 9 Pro Fold will probably have the best camera experience in terms of taking photos. If you love taking photos, you're probably gonna wanna grab that 9 Pro Fold. It should have the latest, best cameras that they have on any of their phones. It should match what comes out in the Pixel 9 Pro and 9 Pro XL, and those are really, really great cameras. The Pixel 8 Pro is an amazing camera in terms of taking day-to-day photos. I love taking photos of people with it. They just come out really crisp and sharp, and I love that. Videos are also very, very good on here. So I think the overall package of a camera experience, you might want to look at the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Pixel 9 Pro Fold, you should get a ton of AI features. The Pixel Fold has a lot of AI features, and those should carry over, and you should even get more with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So again, that software experience all goes into one and giving you a lot of AI features. Pixel 9 Pro Fold should also have the biggest displays on the outside and inside. Definitely on the inside. It's rumored to have a 7.9-inch display, which would be the biggest of any Western foldable phone. So if you need big displays, you're gonna wanna go Pixel 9 Pro Fold. What about the OnePlus Open 2? Why would you wanna buy that phone? Well, to start off, you're gonna get a really good, solid, if not great, camera and video experience. Recording videos, taking photos. It's got a crazy zoom. I think it was like 100x or 110x. It's something ridiculous on there. They're not the best photos you'll ever take with that zoom length, but you can really zoom into a bunch of stuff. And then just the overall quality of videos and photos, you're gonna really appreciate the OnePlus Open 2. It should have very similar cameras to the OnePlus Open. So if you love those cameras, you should get a very similar experience. Light and weight. They had one of the lightest folding phones here in America. The green version of the OnePlus Open was 239 grams, which is what the Z Fold 6 is supposed to be. And I can only imagine that the OnePlus Open 2 is probably gonna be lighter than the OnePlus Open. So that would be a nice get for that. The outside and inside display is very good quality and very well in terms of their dimensions and aspect ratios. That's important because it's not gonna make the phone feel awkward. I felt like the Pixel Fold at times after switching between all three of those phones felt kind of awkward. The OnePlus Open didn't really feel awkward. OnePlus Open 2 should either keep very similar aspect ratio or maybe improve upon it, but I don't even think they really need to. It's a really great size outside display. It's like a normal size phone, and then the inside display is big, but it doesn't feel unwieldy and too big. It's a great matchup between the outside and inside displays. OnePlus Open has an amazing user experience in terms of its speed. It keeps up with the Pixel Fold, but then it also gives you some customizations, which is absolutely amazing. Not as much as the Z Fold line from Samsung, but it gives you a lot of customizations, and then also AAA gaming. So it has all the power that a Z Fold 6 would have, but it's even feeling faster in day-to-day operation, which is hard to dismiss on phones and the amount of money you're paying on these devices. Updates for this phone, you'll probably get 4 to 5 years of updates for the OS, which honestly is plenty. And then also updates might not come as frequent as you get on the Pixel Fold or the Z Fold from Samsung, but you're gonna get updates, maybe not crazy initially, but it will catch up and add more features as time goes on. But you're probably, if you want the latest and greatest and most from your software experience, you're gonna wanna go with Samsung and Pixel in terms of updates, really, like how often and the quality of update that you get. OnePlus Open, 67 watt fast charging. The OnePlus Open 2 will either be faster than that or the same, and that destroys the speeds that you'll get on the Z Fold 6 or the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So if you love to fast charge, you're gonna definitely wanna get the OnePlus Open. Invisible crease. The main display has basically zero crease on it, which is a big thing to say versus what you see on the Pixel Folds and the Z Fold 6, which will also probably be improved in their upcoming generations, but probably still, I don't think they'll still beat what you get on the OnePlus Open on there. A near stock experience of Android on the OnePlus Open, but with really cool customizations with multitasking. And there is a bit of customization in there in terms of changing the way things look and the colors of things, and some extra features built in along the way. So those are really the differences between the upcoming phones and what to expect. Again, it's coming from past experience of what we've seen. It's knowing some rumors that are coming out about these phones. And then it's also some good hardcore guessing. Today's story is all about the black screen of death with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold phones. Now, I have to admit, it's probably not going to happen on the Galaxy Z Fold 5. The reason for that is it's 5 generations in. It has much better build quality than any generation of Samsung Galaxy phones. And I think they've just fixed this issue. I looked through online if this issue is happening with Galaxy Z Fold 5 phones. I couldn't find it. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm saying the probability of it happening is a lot less than the previous generations of these phones. Now, what I'm talking about is I saw this on Reddit and the post went like this, and I just wanted to get the word out about it. Large screen goes black when I open it, but if I factory reset, I can see the screen loading up the Samsung logo. I have a Z Fold 4. I opened it up, have several times today after the last software update. It's just a black screen. The front screen still works, and I've restarted and done a forced restart too. When the phone starts, I can see the gap. The inside screen lights up with the Samsung logo. So the screen has powered up to be working fine. Is that in that respect? Any thoughts? Now, what happened, and the reason it's doing this is because the ribbon cables are becoming like detached or they're loose inside the phone. And what's the fix for that? Well, the fix is you're gonna have to either send it off to Samsung, which let's hope you have a warranty still, which if it's a Z Fold 4 or older, there's a high probability you probably don't, unless you bought it really, really late in its life cycle, or that you have the insurance with the phone. And if you don't, you're gonna have to pay a lot of money to get this fixed, probably hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So you're kind of SOL in terms of what to do with that. You're gonna have to get it fixed though. It's nothing you could probably do unless you're a master technician of some sort and you can open up the phone and potentially reattach the cables and do all of that, which it's probably a lot harder than it sounds, and more sensitive than it sounds too at that. So it's definitely an annoyance, but again, I think the Z Fold 5 has rectified that issues, and I think the future generations of Samsung Galaxy Folds won't probably have this issue as well. The Fold 5 is really a great built phone, especially compared to the previous generations of it. They really did a great job with this in terms of its reliability and stability with the hardware itself. Really, really good job. But if you have a Z Fold 5 and you're having issues with it in the physical sense, let us know in the comments down below. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.